It's the JT Cho Show!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, Cool. Anyways, welcome back to the JT Show. This is December 26, 2019. This is my buddy Turtle, Joe. I've been talking about Joe a lot. We're here to talk about some of those things we like to do. Joe likes to play some Dungeons & Dragons, so we'll explore that a little bit and, hopefully enjoy our casual conversation. So, Joe, how you been?
I'm doing great, man.
Oh, that's good. Here. We're not going to stop it. I'm going to get my coffee, though.
Do you think?
All right, so...
Grab my water while you're up there.
Perfect. All right, the last time we talked.
Yeah.
All right. You're in the middle of this.
Oh, we're just getting right into the campaign.
We're getting right into the campaign.
So yeah, what was the last thing I told you? What just happened?
So you made all of these judgments and you had this whole thing set up, and it kind of didn't even go towards anything. And they basically set up an entire. They basically got all their setup material for something they're about to start, and you didn't think the time well spent playing Dungeons & Dragons went anywhere, but they thought it was one of the best times they've ever played.
Okay.
Right.
Did I talk about the city revolution?
No.
That occurred?
No.
Okay. So, if anybody in my campaign is watching right now, please turn this off. So we're in this city, or they are in this city, and one of the characters in it, his name is Vitor. I guess I should just use character names.
Right.
Vitor is this outcast prince of this kingdom, and they're in this kingdom right now. They're in one of the cities that's part of the kingdom.
Okay. And
there's this huge struggle between the non-elves and the elves, and the elves are kind of like Nazi-ish in this kingdom.
Okay.
So they get to this city, and Vitor is adamant that he does not want to show his identity.
Right.
They talk about it in character. They argue about it in character.
Like real life people talking about
real life people
in character. Like you're your character when you sit down, right?
Yeah, when you're sitting at a table and it's D&D, I mean, it's kind of fluid, but the majority of the time you're in character.
Now, if I had to go to the bathroom and I was Vitor, do I say Vitor needs to use the restroom, or you'll just be like, hey guys, we'll be right back?
No, we just go to the bathroom.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So Vitor doesn't want to be discovered.
Yeah, so they argue in character about it, and he's adamant. I do not want to show myself.
Right.
I do not want to show myself because he's sought after.
I'm just gonna make sure it's recording because that would be a tragedy. Okay, we're good to go.
All right.
Okay.
It would be a tragedy.
Yes. I need a Jamie.
So I listen to him.
Okay.
And I'm making these notes because I'm the DM, so I have to run it and everything. And I'm making these notes while they're arguing about it, that he doesn't want to show himself and yada yada yada. And when after I make these notes, I try to make my next session with those in mind.
Right.
And so the session after that, I set up this great. I was really excited about it. I set up this great meet up with the resistance in the city, and they're trying to build up their forces so that they can make a move on the fortress that's in the city and take it back for the non-elves kind of
right
thing. But it was going to be a step-by-step process. First you got to do this, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I set up this meet and greet with the head of the resistance, and I have this heist that they can plan and do, and it was going to be the whole session. But the session was starting with them in a confrontation with the guards.
Okay.
So it was, hey guys, welcome back, and then boom, roll initiative. And when you roll initiative, that's when you see whose turn is what, right?
Yeah.
And so we roll initiative, and they go first, and I'm trying a new initiative setup where usually usually what it is.
Hey!
Hey!
There we go.
Usually what it is you roll and then, ascending order or descending order. It's, 20 goes first, 18 goes second, that kind of thing, whatever.
Yeah.
I have it where only one person rolls and one person from the bad guys roll, and then that's when each group goes. So
Okay.
the good guys all go at the same time and the bad guys all go at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do that to add a little bit more teamwork to turns and stuff like that. Kind of like you ever play that Ultimate Alliance from Marvel?
Yeah.
Kind of like that,
Okay.
because that's some cool shit.
Yeah.
So they go first, and the first thing the Bard does, and the Bard is like a magical class. The first
Trying
thing
to jump.
I know, yeah. The first thing the Bard does is he turns into this giant ape.
Right.
He has this spell called Polymorph, and
Okay.
he can turn into beasts.
Okay.
And so he turns into this giant ape,
Like King Kong.
like King Kong.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was like Mighty Joe Young size, and then we looked it up, and no, it's King Kong size.
He's got King Kong because he's King Kong.
So the session before, Vitor talks about how he doesn't want to draw attention to themselves,
Okay.
and the first thing that happens in the next session is King Kong appears in the street and is fighting guards.
Yeah, and you can't
Right.
miss that.
You can't miss that.
No.
And then, right after King Kong appears, Vitor jumps on King Kong, climbs all the way up to his tippy top, and drops his disguise, and does this like rousing speech to the people about how he's the assassin prince and he's back to claim the city, and
Do you like roll for like courage points?
So
Like I roll a hard 9, I get the King's speech. I roll like a 2, and I get like post fight Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, kind of. There's different skill points. There's different skills that you can use. So that one, he did this speech, and I had him roll a persuasion check,
Okay.
and I thought he did really well. So I had him roll. I think I had him roll with advantage because I was like, that was really good. So roll with advantage. That means you roll twice, and you take the higher of the two.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So that's the first thing he does. Even the session before, he's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And then the next session, boom, first thing he does. So I hadn't prepped for that at all.
Right.
Because I'm kind of not that good of a DM yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just started. We're like in year 2, I think. Maybe year 3 of screwing around with Dungeons & Dragons. And I think I do an adequate job.
Yeah.
But my campaign is still kind of the campaign where we're still learning everything.
And it's tough too, because like you can't really bounce too many ideas off of them because they're the ones playing the adventure. But you kind of expect that they expect you bring a little to the table.
Well, yeah, I have to prepare for every session. Cause
Yeah.
If I underprepared for one session, and I knew it went bad.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, not that you're blowing me off, but like I think I was hanging out with you. Like, you changed your D&D date from Thursday to Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, want to hang out Monday night? And you're like, I got to prep, dude. I got homework.
I know, yeah, and sometimes it does feel like homework, but that's when...
It makes it fun.
Well, and when it starts to feel like homework, that's when I ask our other friend Holcomb to DM, like, because he has another campaign that he does off and on,
Okay.
and his campaign's a little easier to have people come in and out,
Right.
and so I'll just be like, dude, you gotta DM a couple times, because it's starting to become a chore.
Yeah.
And when it becomes not fun, then,
Why are we...
yeah, why are we even doing this, But no, it's such a great game.
I've been doing this for 2 years. I'm not quitting now. We're halfway through the journey.
Well, and I'm kind of determined, too, because it's kind of like one of those things in the D&D community that level 20 is the cap.
Okay.
So you can start your campaign at any level really you choose that you want to start it at, but 1 to 20 is the range of levels.
Right.
And it's not common for people to get to level 20. It's just not common because, one, either your character dies, or two, real life gets in the way and you lose your group, or you just can't, you have a child or something and your plans change, and
Right.
it's just hard for you to get to the game to even play. So level 20 is like only 1% get to level 20.
Okay.
It's that kind of situation.
Can you end it early though?
You can end it early, and a lot of times that's what happens too. Is somebody has a campaign, they have a specific plot that they want, and they get through the plot, and then they're done.
And sometimes that plot only rides up to like 8 or 9.
Yeah, it could be 8 or 9. Actually, there's a lot of modules that they make, like pre-built stories.
Oh, okay.
That will say, from levels 1 to 10, and then you can pick up another module that's 10 to 20, or 10 to 15, or whatever.
Okay.
And you could do it that way too. But I just kind of went balls out and was like, I'm just going to make it all up. And which has been really fun and really cool. However, it's kind of hard because they ask me questions that I didn't even think of.
Yeah.
And then I got a bullshit response that kind of makes sense, but doesn't seem like I'm making it right up right away. Their favorite thing they like to do is ask the name of every single NPC they ever meet. And so,
what's the bartender's name?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Daryl. What about the next one? Oh, she's Carol.
Yeah.
What about the third one? Pete!
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. But I had this random name generator I gotta bring up, and so it's
Oh, you just random.
Yeah, it's always gotta be fantastical names or something like that.
Yeah.
I think my first name I had to make up was, I think they called him Ba, because they said, "What's your name?" And I just froze and I went Ba, and I couldn't think of anything, and so they kind of messed with me.
Oh, you're from the South.
Yeah.
Bah.
And I can't do a lot of accents either.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at accents, and so a lot of my people just sound the same.
All I can really do is a semi-good Steve Irwin, and
Yeah, I've heard it. It's not too bad.
I just hate when I don't hate. I'm just jealous of people that it's so natural. They're like, here's a British accent. And you're like, wow, that's really good. And I do mine. And I'm just like, driving on the right side of the road, are we? And I'm just like, that was awful, dude.
That was bad.
Yeah.
But mine's just as bad, which is why I'm not going to share it.
Yeah.
But,
Excellent.
Holcomb's that way. Holcomb can do, accents and stuff. And when he DMs, it's like...
Oh, yeah. I was going to play with him.
You were?
I think so. It might have been him or Eric Corey.
It's probably Holcomb. I don't think Eric Corey...
No, Eric Corey was definitely going to play. See, Eric Corey could do a good Irish accent.
Mm.
And I couldn't, and I'm a ginger. So the play teacher, she was like, come on, Taylor, be this leprechaun guy. And I was just like, really terrible with accents. So Eric Corey ended up playing him.
Oh, in the play. I
Yeah.
get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways. So you got to trade off with Holcomb sometimes.
Right.
Okay.
But, it's a great game. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
So we've been playing it for 2 years in the same campaign, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're only level 9.
Wow. Well, I mean, you guys play once a week and then take some breaks here and there?
Once a week, and we just I think we have 2 more weeks off from this 4-week break we're taking because everybody has different holiday schedules and everything.
Because when I log on to the free internet TV, I get sometimes, because when I'm just let's just see what's playing on here, I'll look, it'll be a D&D campaign, it'll be 2.5 hours, and I'm never I wonder if that's from start to finish or if that's just 2 hours of their block.
Well, it depends on how you want to play, so there's all these different options on how you want to play.
Can you just hey, start out with your your most bad characters, we're doing one big hard level, so if your strongest character to date can...
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
So, I feel like and I don't know if this is correct or not, but I feel like what usually used to happen with Dungeons and Dragons campaigns is a lot of it was more episodic, where you would get together and there would be some narration before you started.
Okay.
So it would be, you come together and the DM would read, oh, you guys all met in this town and saw that there was this wanted poster and you follow the tracks to this small village just outside of town. Like your investigation led you to this small village at such and such location.
Right.
And then so you're in the village where you think that person is hiding out already.
Okay.
And then go from there. And then the players can do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, some people still play that way. And I don't mind playing that way too. But the campaign I'm running is like a sandbox. And it's wide open. It's a sandbox. And it's, I don't know the term for it, but it's like we role play everything.
Okay.
So we'll role play them eating breakfast. And they'll go in and buy ale and get shit-faced and...
It's 8 a.m., beer and eggs.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if that's what they want to do, that's what they'll do. And so it's just a continual, it's a series.
Yeah.
And everything builds on itself, which is awesome. I'm enjoying it, but it definitely makes it harder because I gotta think...
What kind of meats do you have here?
Yeah, dude.
Random animal name.
Yeah, dude, exactly. Like,
Sporefishin elk from the Manangonian area.
Well, then they'll call me out on stuff too, where
Yeah.
you know it's like, oh, well, it's this meat from this area, and they're like, oh, well, with this war going on, how did you get it in? And I'm like, that's a good point, but I didn't think of that. I know a guy.
There's a guard that tipped a guy who tipped the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, well, we want to meet this guy, and you're just like, this guy
Yeah.
didn't even exist 10 seconds ago. You got to make up a side plot right on the.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it really works out. So like, we kind of have a couple brews when we're playing.
Yeah.
And
Mature adults.
yeah, I had a little more than I probably should have.
Yeah.
And they were talking to this NPC, and so Vitor is this prince, and he got exiled from his land. Actually, he was going to be executed, but he got away.
Okay.
But he was going to be executed because he killed his dad, the king.
All right.
And the queen, who's always hated him, wanted him dead because she said it was him, it was his fault.
Right. So she set him up.
Right. So
refrained Roger Rabbit.
so he ran away.
Okay.
They're talking to this NPC, and the NPC is talking about the kingdom that he's from.
Right.
And Vitor's kind of quizzing him about things because he hasn't really known anything about the kingdoms in the 18 years that it's been.
He hasn't even been paying attention.
Right.
Okay.
And so I have had a couple drinks, and in real life.
Yeah.
And he asks the NPC, well, what about the prince? Talking about himself.
Yeah.
And I say, oh, he's fine. And he's like, he's fine? And in my head, I'm like, oh, shit. He's talking about himself. He's not talking... And it's
like about the current faults.
Yeah,
He's asking about himself. And
he's asking about himself.
Okay.
And so I was like, I had to kind of make something up real quick.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, are you talking about the other prince? The assassin prince? You know? And he was like, wait, are you saying there's another prince? And I was like, yeah, there's another prince. You know,
you left. There's got to be another prince.
There was, she was pregnant, and when you ran it,
That's your stepbrother.
Yeah. And it really worked out because it was a big reveal.
Yeah.
And in character, he got all upset, and he went out and punched some trees and stuff because he's a monk. That's what they do. Is punch things. So he went out and just
Monks.
punches things. Yep. But it was a really good reveal, and now he's got even more motivation to see what's going on.
Oh, that's cool. So just a happy accident,
It was a happy accident, yeah.
Well,
and I did it again, actually, too.
Cobra.
If we're talking about happy accidents, like Bob Ross. Sometimes I just, I love playing it, but when it gets to the end of the night,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to role play every single encounter.
Yeah.
So we got to a point where they were going shopping,
Okay.
and this was at the tail end of the night. And
Sorry for my cat's butthole.
They go to this, I think it was a armory, and they were trying to buy some weapons and armor and yada yada.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any magical items in there. And so, Vitor asks, where's all the magical items? And magical items are the hardest to make up because you got to make sure that they make sense. You got to make sure that they don't break the game.
Right.
Because you can give them too powerful of an item and then you're like, oh,
You're
well,
dead.
I just screwed myself over. You know what I mean? As
Yeah.
a DM. Everything I throw at them now is going to be ruined because of this item.
Oh, it looks like they get this item. They can make whatever they want.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty
Cool
much.
mod.
Yeah, exactly. So they asked the shopkeeper, they're like, well, where's all the magical items then if there's no magic shop?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you're right. I do need an explanation for that. So I'm just like, well, the Duke took it. They're like, what do you mean the Duke took it? I'm like, yep. The Duke took all the magical items.
You gotta go kill the Duke.
And they're like, the Duke took all the magical items? I'm like, yep, he just took them all.
What a jerk.
But it just worked out really well because now I've started using that. They don't know this yet, and this is why you need to turn this off.
No more spoilers.
If you're in my campaign, if you're not, continue watching.
Yeah.
But the Duke is using the magical items. He has this enchanter that is taking the magical items that they have, and he's mass producing one-use copies of it.
Okay.
So
You can use it one time.
you can use it one time. So, for instance, they got a little taste of it with the guard battle
Okay.
that they had because there's wands that do magical effects. So there's like the wand of magic missiles, and you get certain amount of charges with that. You get let's just say like 3 charges.
Okay.
Well, this one, all the guards have them, but it's one use. So they use it, and then it disintegrates in their hand.
Okay.
There's a crest that they wear that does the shield spell, and the shield spell adds +5 to your AC, which is like your defense.
Okay.
So if the bad guy rolls 18 to hit you,
Right.
and your AC is 17, you can use the shield spell to bump your AC up to 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do math there.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't hit you. It would like hit the shield, and then it's all done. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So they got a little taste of that. But that's where me pulling something out of my ass because I didn't want to do something,
Yeah.
worked out really well.
Yeah, it's easy to even just on the fly like that.
Yeah.
And most it's hard too because you really gotta find people that are into it because
Yeah, this has been a good group, and they've all been into it.
yeah, I feel like it's definitely my thing to enjoy, but not that much. I do other things that I enjoy too much. Not that I want to enjoy that, but I would have to give something that I like to do up to start getting into D&D.
I think you would just have to be a player.
Yeah.
Because as a player,
You just show up.
It's really you just kind of show up. You show up and you play the session, and then you're done.
Do you always start with a fresh character?
No,
Or can you level a guy up to 7 and then start the next journey with him?
there's there's different ways of playing. You can play where you just create this character. Say you make this level 7 fighter, right?
Yeah.
And then the group that you have kind of disbands.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone else is like, hey, I'm putting together a group. And, it's like, I'm going to start you guys a little higher, like level 8. And you're like, well, I got a level 7 fighter. And he's like, bring them in.
Yeah.
So you can just insert that character in there.
And so, as a player, do you take notes on your player's progress and how his emotional range goes up and down throughout the entire campaign?
Well, it depends on what kind of campaign you want to play.
Oh, okay.
So, the campaign I'm playing, that I'm running, I always tell them this is our forget about work campaign. There's different rules that I don't play by because they're more bookkeeping than I want to worry about.
Okay.
Spellcasting requires ingredients.
Mm.
So I don't worry about that because I don't care. You know, if he wants to do some crazy spell, but he doesn't have the bat guano that he needs, like I don't.
Let me look
care.
it up.
Yeah,
8.
Yeah, exactly. So
A big book of. I mean, the internet's here, but still, you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, the internet makes it super easy.
Yeah.
I have the books, but I honestly just use those when I'm DMing stuff, like when I'm by myself and prepping. But on the go, it's so much quicker to just Google it.
And I've seen the books. Like, the illustrations are fantastic. The way they
I brought them, actually, too.
Because back in Scouts, back in Boy Scouts, there's kids who would have D&Ds, and he'd be like, yeah, I'm working on my character. And so we'd just be, like, looking through his books and be like, oh, this elf guy looks sick and stuff like that. But
yeah, and that was probably 3.5. That's a different version, even.
Yeah, that was from probably 2002.
Yeah, I think that was probably... Well, I don't know. That might have been 3.5 or 4. But I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Yeah. But he had a bunch of books, and he was just, like, jotting down notes on, like, who he's going to bring to the table. Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, we're in Boy Scouts.
That's the biggest thing with creating a character is when you get into a character, when you're creating him, the very first part, before you even play, that's going to take up the biggest part of your time. Because you're jumping all over the place. You have all these different plans, what this character is going to do, and then you get to the table, and then you throw half of it away. Because you're reacting to a situation. Most of the time, you react to a situation how you would react to a situation.
Yeah. You're basing your character off of your views most of the time.
Right. It's a mirror of yourself a lot of times, especially if it's your first campaign.
Unless you're good at acting through a character's eyes and not your own eyes.
Right.
Like, how would... my character.
Well, and that's an issue sometimes. Is like every once in a while you'll get a person who will make crazy decisions that are definitely out of the ordinary, and they will justify it with, well, that's what my character would do.
Right.
And it's like that's a good explanation to a point because it's still a game. And everyone's still trying to have a good time. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. It's not a get-out-of-jail-free card, I don't think, like some people think it is.
Do you ever set it up to where you give a situation where you know how their character would react to it based on previous experiences, and then they just throw their own personal view on it, and you're like, bro, that's how you would react to it, not how your character would react to it?
I haven't had that situation, but I've had a situation where I intentionally put something in front of a character thinking that they would react to it in a certain way.
Right.
And then they reacted to it differently. For example, I at the very beginning, I railroaded them a little bit. And railroading is like when you force them down a certain path.
Okay.
And it was when I was just learning. Sometimes you kind of have to railroad them just a touch, just to get them to do a certain aspect that you want or talk to the certain person that you want them to talk to.
Right.
But that session, I just straight railroaded them because, one, I didn't know what I was doing, and two, I really wanted them to do this certain thing.
Right.
So they drank too much in the game. They won these drinking games. They won like a trophy at this bar. Mm-hmm. It was like a fun session. And then they passed out drunk. And then they woke up and they were in a strange place and they all had like a strange item on them. And it was my intention to make it kind of like a hangover type quest for them to piece it all together, like what happened that night.
Right.
It didn't work out that way. Still worked out okay. But one of the things that I gave them was this mirror. This like hand mirror. And when they looked into this mirror, it showed a room that had like an empty desk and an empty chest and some empty bookcases. Mm-hmm. And then there was a window that had the curtains drawn. Mm-hmm. And then when they looked at it again, they'd see some gold on the table and the curtains were open and they could see out. And as they looked at it again, there'd be more gold, more treasure. Every time they look at it, each day there's like more gold and it's just filling with gold, and there's a different view outside of the window every day they look at it too.
Okay.
So I gave it to the character that's a pirate. We have a character that's a pirate in this campaign. And it's treasure.
Yeah.
Right? So I gave it to the pirate, thinking the pirate would be like, hell yeah,
This is
let's
my
go
treasure.
find this treasure.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, it's cursed. I don't want this. And I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense, you know. They're superstitious and everything, cursed item.
Yeah.
But you know, that was a situation where I was like, oh, he's gonna be all about this treasure, and he was like, nope. But but Vitor the monk took it, and
Are you sure that pirate don't want that treasure?
yeah, you know, it's always the pirate is his name is Elmer. It's always Elmer that acts differently than I'm thinking.
Oh,
He's
you just
the wild
are you
card.
just stereotyping pirates, you bigot?
I
you
might
bigot
be.
DM.
I might be.
Yeah, he probably doesn't. He probably doesn't have vitamin C. I am
scurvy.
I actually eat 3 oranges a day. Man, you need to get canceled because of that. Pirates are people too.
Then there's a situation where they were on the ship, so he. So talk about situations where I had to react to this. I didn't even know what to do.
Right.
One of the features. So everybody gets a class,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone gets a background.
Mm-hmm.
And this character's class is a bard.
Mm-hmm.
And his background is a sailor, and so he wanted to do a variation of that and do a pirate.
All right.
So I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds fun. Whatever, let's have fun. Well, one of the parts of his background is he can secure free passage on a boat for his party.
Oh, that's cool. Like
Right.
sneak him on.
Well,
Or he's just-
or he can just talk to the captain and kind of
Hey, I got some guys.
yeah, talk his way on.
I'm a
like,
pirate.
one sailor to another,
Hey,
kind of thing,
come on.
right? Yeah. So he goes and talks to this captain, and the captain's like, "Yeah, of course. Like,
I got a wooden leg here.
I'm
Let my
going.
friends
Yeah,
on.
I'm going this way. Why don't you get on, and we'll all go this way, and I'll take you as far as this kind of thing." Right?
Yeah.
So they go into the captain's quarters to have a drink to like solidify it because he requested it. It's like I usually solidify this with a drink. Do you have any?
Yeah.
So they go in the captain's quarters, and as they're getting ready to drink, and in my head I'm like, oh, this is great role play. Like he's doing really well. He's with his character.
They're just gonna follow the little dump off and start over
and
here.
he's by himself. It's
Yeah.
just the pirate, right?
Yeah.
He disappears to go do this,
Okay.
and I'm like, yeah, cool. This is a good role play. And then he goes, I slit his throat out of nowhere
For no reason.
for no reason. Which is an example of when he was like, well, my character would do it. Pirate rules. These are pirate rules.
Pirates of parlay.
Yeah.
Parlay.
So-
Pirate handbook.
He slits this guy's throat and kills half the crew and just steals the ship.
Mutiny.
Yeah. Just steals it.
You got a family.
Yeah, dude. Just kills the dude.
Yeah.
And I had to like react to that. Like, I don't even know how to do this.
So I can't pick up strangers these days. Going to Detroit.
This is why I can't hitchhike anymore.
I can take it to Ann Arbor. Slits my throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, JT was a good guy.
It's the same. It's
Always
it's
giving
exactly
rides
the
to
same.
strangers.
But they have a boat now. They have
Yeah.
a ship now. So they're on the ship. And I set up this random encounter where they would see a body strapped to a barrel, and it's just floating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I gave this encounter specifically to the pirate because the body has a treasure map on it, right?
Yeah.
So he hauls it aboard, and he unstraps it from the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Just throws the body overboard.
I don't care about that.
Says,
Got
"Fuck that body."
Got that pirate map.
And opens up the barrel, and there's nothing in it.
Oh, so the
Thankfully, there was someone on the ship with him. They went in twos, night and day.
Okay.
Someone else was on the ship with him and like stopped him from throwing the body over and was like, no, I want to check this first.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it was just him, body would have been gone.
Let's see what loot he has.
Yeah. He was just like, peace.
Dead or alive? Don't
Let's
care.
look at this barrel.
Oh, where is everything?
Yeah.
On the body? Who would ever think of
But that was something I thought for sure he would check the body
Yeah.
and then maybe check the barrel after or whatever. But he didn't react the way I thought he would.
Old mythical dead people can still talk to you, and
that's my biggest if
check everything when you play games like that. It's hard not to check everything.
Yeah, well, and
like the first time you play Skyrim. Well, I want everything.
Oh yeah, or Witcher.
I want forks.
You just hit that collect all button.
Why do I have 18 spoons?
Yeah. Why am I overburdened right now?
Oh.
But that's that's kind of a problem in D&D sometimes though, because you're not in a vacuum.
Right.
In D&D like you are in like The Witcher or like Skyrim.
Right.
So, if you start rooting through people's shit in D&D, those NPCs are going to be like, what the hell are you doing? Like, get out.
Right.
Or I'm going to call the guard or, whatever. It also gets to a point where it's kind of ridiculous sometimes as trying to move the game along. If you're just like, I want to check this, I want to check that. And it's like, that's fine, you can do that. But when it starts getting ridiculous, like, I want to check under this flower pot. What are you checking for? I don't know, see if there's like a spare key or something. It's like
a hidden item.
I don't know, it's unlocked. I just told you the door was unlocked. Yeah, but
Someone's
I want the key for later in case it's locked. I can sneak in at night.
Yeah, I need the key to every house in this village.
yeah.
Just in case I ever need to come back here, I just have a key to everyone's house.
Yeah.
And they probably only have one key.
Or if it's a village, what's a key?
Yeah.
Like
a log in front of your door. I hope we don't get beat by savages tonight. There's a door there. I don't lock though.
Yeah. I got hay in my roof. You think I locked my door?
Right. Sometimes locks only keep the honest people out.
That's what my dad used to say. Just keeps honest people honest. That's all it does.
Oh, can't get through those doors? Yeah, we could still kill them with the hay.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm too honest for that.
You see this window that has no glass in it? No, let's just sneak through that.
Nah. Too much work. I'll just go through the door. I'll just go through the door when it's unlocked. I'll steal a key later. I'm an honest person. If I'm going to kill him, I'm going to kill him through the front door. Small towns,
you have your principles, right? And just go right through the front door.
I just keep watching all these, who is that guy? Ted Bundy things. People just used to,
he was the nicest guy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they would all those neighborhoods that would start getting girls disappeared. Most of those people would be like, "Yeah, we never locked the doors here in 27 years." And I'm like, I had friends in the 2000s and upper that never used to lock their house.
Yeah, no, especially back where we grew up, a lot of people are that way.
My house is always locked here.
Oh, we always locked our doors.
Yeah.
Well, we got robbed one time. Actually, we got.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they took a bunch of stuff when I was real young. But
when you were growing up.
Yeah, when I was growing up, we got robbed. No, not Lauren.
I was like, "Geez, when did this happen?" I'm a terrible friend.
No.
Yeah.
No, when I was younger, my childhood home got robbed.
Yeah, my garage got broken into twice, and I forgot what they took. They took something with my dad's the first time, but I remember the second time they started taking our hockey stuff.
Oh.
And then they took one of my brother's sticks and beat up they started smashing mailboxes with the stuff too. So then I see these kids banging out dents. I don't know why they were using a hockey. They were trying to chisel out dents with a hockey stick, and I was like, well, why would they be using a hockey stick? And they're like, yeah, we found this here, and we're like, oh, that's someone broke into our garage. Yeah, that's our stick. And they thought that we broke our own window just to smash their mailbox away. It's I would just use the stick, break it, and return it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't leave my property at the scene of the crime and then go smash my window. Got him. They'll never know it was me. Perfect crime. But yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, people used to just be okay with that, and I'm just dude, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it's messed up, dude.
Yeah, totally a scary thing for sure.
But that's the funny thing. So in real life, it's messed up.
Yeah.
But people do that shit in D&D with their characters all the time.
They just don't ever lock their doors? Or
no, they just break in.
Oh, yeah.
People's stuff.
Yeah.
Vitor and Elmer.
Okay.
The two that have been named. Elmer is currently trying to figure out if a child that has been claimed as his is actually his.
Okay.
But during this time, he came home to see the mother beaten up and the child scared, and the mother told him who it was that did it.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the dude's home. They just snuck in and just skewered him against the wall. Like, didn't even say 2 words to the guy.
I don't need to hear your side of the
Just
story.
straight murdered him.
I don't care what she said.
Straight murdered him.
My name's Ray Rice. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, dude.
My name's Ray Rice release video.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that Bill Burr special.
Yeah.
So funny.
I'm a sympathizer.
Yeah. Or what's Dave Chappelle say? I'm what's called a victim blamer or something like that.
Yeah.
So funny. Anyway.
Yeah. What did she say?
So they do, like, sometimes they just do terrible things in D&D.
Yeah.
But there's supposed to be, like, consequences and stuff like that to their actions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my biggest, I think, fault, is I don't have good enough,
Harsh enough?
consequences. Which leads me to what's going on right now. So this has been a huge circle right now.
Right.
So we get to, they started this revolution in this city.
Right.
They had that rousing speech, right? And they take out the guards and they do this quick, like, sweep. And they get control of this little part of the city.
Okay.
So if it's a square, my fingers are buildings.
Okay.
And this is all open.
Okay.
Okay? And
Yeah.
that's what they have right now. That's what they have control
So they
of.
basically, like, if you broke one square up into 9 pieces, like they're brownies, and then you got 9 brownie squares, the entire pan is 1 pan of brownies. That's your city. That's your whole area.
Yeah,
and
they
then
have one piece.
They have 1 piece of brownie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I like to relate things to food.
that's okay. That
Okay.
totally made sense to me.
Yeah.
So I am torn
Okay.
because one of what I had set up was I wanted them to start these quests to build up the resistance, so that when they decided to do the revolution in the city, it would work out better for the NPCs and for the party.
Mm-hmm.
But they just jumped the gun. They just jumped all of that.
Right.
They went from step 0 to step 15.
Okay.
So all the NPCs are going to be underprepared.
Mm.
And not every NPC has a class,
Right.
right? So they're just regular people. So they have HP at like 8.
Right.
8 HP, which could, like, Vitor at this point could kill someone with 1 punch.
Okay.
And he's only level 9. So I'm torn. I'm torn between 2 different things.
Okay.
I'm torn between setting up the taking of the city like it's San Andreas.
Okay.
You remember those gang wars they used to do?
Yeah.
Where you would just you would, like, put your color on the map. You would take over different colors.
Yeah, and
you would just fill up the whole map, right?
Yeah.
I'm torn between doing that because they have a picture of the city,
Okay.
and I like circled their square
On like a PC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we actually play online. We play on something called Roll20
Okay.
because
Like an online thing where
Yeah,
it's like everyone
Holcomb's
can look
in-
at the map.
right, Holcomb's in Grand Rapids. Well, Holcomb and Casey are in Grand Rapids. Garrett and I are here.
Yeah.
And then Cleveland's all the way down in Mississippi.
Yeah.
So it's the only way we can play.
Right. You flying up again?
Yeah, exactly.
3 weeks in a row.
Yeah. So so I'm torn between having them do this just like Stalingrad style, take the city back, fill up the city with their color, take back the city. Or what I'm leaning to today, right now, is just demolishing them. Just because they haven't failed yet either. They're like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Their plans have never failed.
Right.
They've always worked out in the end somehow. And I want to destroy them.
Right.
I want to demolish them because they have underprepared NPCs. They don't have the numbers. They don't know what they're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to do it.
Right.
I just want to crush them. So Lauren and I were coming up with ideas.
Hi, wife.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
We were coming up with ideas on how I could crush them, and I think
Is that when she's like, "You think Taylor's pretty lonely?"
no,
No.
no. She actually she comes up with good ideas. Like she came up with the mirror.
Oh, okay.
The mirror was actually her idea.
Yeah.
I took it a little bit further than what her idea was, but the initial idea was hers.
Nice.
And it's a good idea.
Supportive.
Yeah. And she thought up like gas bombs for this situation.
Right.
Like Witcher type, like ceramic bomb kind of thing, like toss them in.
Yeah.
I thought of like lightning cannons, so like come in with like a wagon and just take the top off, and like you got this lightning cannon, and they would just shred regular NPCs.
It's a lightning cannon.
Right.
Yeah.
So even if the party does well, these NPCs are gonna be just shredded, melted, skewered, stabbed, killed, mutilated. They're gonna be destroyed.
Right.
The city's gonna be burning because there's gonna be like fire bombs I'm gonna be thrown in there too.
And this is one city in a big kingdom, right?
This is one city in a big kingdom.
Okay.
The kingdom is pretty large land-wise.
Okay.
But there's only 3 huge cities.
So if you start having them overthrow the city, you could just be like, the kingdoms automatically crushes all rebellions before they start momentum, sending all troops and forces to the Raccoon City.
Yeah.
Like they're sending, like if you guys would have actually like treated the city like you should have, then you guys would be okay. But now that you're revolutioning this city, they're sending their A+s already.
And it's not necessarily like what you should have done, or it's just like this is your choice and this is what happens.
You can leave, or you can get crushed by the Red Army.
Right. Or I'm gonna try to.
Winter's here. The Russian soldiers are in the city ready to fight you, and you still got to march through Mother Russia in January.
Yeah, yeah.
Your choice.
Yeah, exactly.
So even if you somehow defeat an army, you trekking through Stalingrad before, and then if you don't, then reinforcements show right
Coming
back
in.
up.
Yep.
They're Russian.
Yep.
They were born there.
Yeah.
They're the Red Army. I think that's your phone.
Oh,
You had to charge them. Pardon the interruption. Are you getting a phone call?
No, my bad.
Oh, it's okay.
So, where was it?
Lightning cannons, different things that you make.
Oh, right.
I'm gonna get some water. Do you want anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay, keep talking.
So, I also got to try to think of some kind of secret weapon, like big, bad destroyer weapon.
Right.
Because this giant ape.
Oh yeah, he's King Kong.
Because he's going to turn into King Kong. That's what he does.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm King Kong.
Yeah. So, and I don't want to punish him for that because that's really cool. I want him to enjoy that.
Right.
But I definitely want it to become more of a strategic thing instead of I'll just turn into this giant ape because I won't die that way.
Yeah.
And I can just do so much damage.
Right.
So I need some kind of weapon that's going to hit him and have him be thinking, I can't get hit with that more than 1 or 2 times more.
Like, that hurt.
Yeah.
I'm a big dumb ape.
Exactly.
That hurt.
And I need something like that.
Yeah.
And so I've thought of
Shoots little Italian mans at him.
Took a second.
Hits him in the head.
Yeah. Took a second, but I'm there.
Ow! What was that? His name was Mario?
No. I don't know. I've thought of different things. I've thought of the lightning cannons and just having them set up on rooftops.
Yeah.
And have them waiting for him to turn into this ape. And like the second he turns into this ape, have like 4 or 5 of them just like bam.
Yeah.
Right into him right away.
Is it a tall? It's a village, right? So it doesn't have like tall.
It's a city.
Or I mean, like to help out, you could have those cannons are long range, I presume, correct?
Not as long as you would think. Probably like 120 feet. I don't know the spell right off the top of my head.
Because I would say like make it difficult. If he's gonna be the ape, he gets blasted by the cannons.
Mm-hmm.
But if he just remains the size that he's supposed to, they're not going to fire upon the city to destroy random buildings just to kill some rebels rising up, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, if he tries to go full ape mode, they're like, oh, there he is, let's kill him, and he's going to probably die. And then he's going to have to play it this other way, because if not, his character just dies.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And then have some airplanes come in and smash him, and then have a big tower, and he'll grab, like, a blonde damsel, and you're like...
And it'll be Beauty that killed the beast,
Yeah.
not Lightning.
Stupid. But yeah. Do you ever do like, and then so for more consequences, so like, oh, I slit this dude's throat. So do you ever like have like a meter, sort of like Red Dead Redemption or Metal Gear Solid, like a good and bad meter? Like the more stupid, terrible things they do, like they could have just rowed the boat 75% of the way and dealt with how to get to the rest. But instead they slit his throat. So you could like make trade higher prices or make their shadiness or like have some form of aurora over them to make it harder for them to get people to trust them or persuasion or things like that.
I haven't done that, but that is some of the things that I've read online. It's a good idea.
Because like you can just be like, you can make a scenario to where you're like, oh, you did a normal thing, no plus or minus. Oh, you actually cared about this person. Cool, +2, you get an extra roll for persuasion or something. And if you're just stabbing people, like, oh, next time you want to talk to somebody to get a ship or something, it's going to be super hard to talk to them.
Yeah.
Like, make like consequences that'll affect the way that they like barter and trade and
I
stuff.
like that. That's a good idea, and I need to do that. I think half of my problem is I try to think too rationally. Like I try to rationalize everything too much.
Right.
So instead of thinking, well, this is this fantastical world where magic exists,
Yeah.
and there's dragons and this and that,
Yeah.
I think, well, there wouldn't be dragons here because they're located in the north.
Yeah,
Or-
what would a dragon be doing this far east
Right.
in the winter?
So, like he slit that guy's throat and moved forward and everything moved on. And I'm like, well, he wasn't really known. So
Right.
he's just some rando that did it. So they don't know his name. They don't know who did it. So in my head, I'm like, I can't do any consequences like that for that particular situation because, one, he was unknown at that point in time. Two, they didn't stick around the area that long after they did that.
Right.
So, but I like that option a lot. He's toned down his craziness.
His random killingness.
His craziness now is his spell Polymorph, which does the giant ape.
Yeah.
Because he'll just turn into things left and right.
Beast Boy.
Yeah, and it's cool, and I want him to do that. I want him to have that much fun.
I'm a T-Rex. What you know about T-Rex?
Yeah, dude.
This is kind of Lord of the Rings. What's Lord of the Rings know about a T-Rex?
And you can turn into a T-Rex.
Half of them didn't even know what an elephant looked like until that final... Oh, holy shit, that's an elephant! It's huge! The story's told.
Yeah.
Never seen one. My God, we got a horse. That's an elephant. That makes sense to a lot of people, but other people, you're just like,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
You guys are nerds.
We are.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Love it.
great.
So you got your maps played out, and then like when they do battles against like creatures or like armies or what have you, are there like ranges? Like, are they located at specific points on the battle, or is it kind of just set up like your Final Fantasy, and you walk around until you run into combat?
More of Final Fantasy.
Okay, so you're on the battlefield, and then you can like run up to like enemies, and like Final Fantasy battle this enemy.
Well, you think of it in a different way.
Okay.
So it's more so.
Do you roll to move?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, the start of combat
Okay.
can start anywhere and everywhere.
Does range depend on how far you could, like if I'm an archer and I see someone from 120 yards away, can I start attacking him before he starts attacking me because I have a further range than him? Or
It's all an initiative.
okay.
So, I'll take the guard battle, for
Okay.
instance.
Okay.
They walked out of a bar,
Mm-hmm.
and the guards were waiting for them.
Right.
And at that point in time, they rolled initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we do a normal initiative roll, the normal way, some of the guards had crossbows out,
Right.
but they didn't go until after the good guys went, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't fire on them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it wasn't their turn. But when it was their turn, obviously they could fire on. To move, you like in every combat, on every turn that you have. So if it's your turn, you're an archer. You have, if you're like a human or an elf, we'll just say you have like 30 feet of movement,
Mm-hmm.
which is usually 6 squares,
Okay.
because each square is 5 feet. So 5 times 6 is 30.
Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Van Sickle.
And
Sorry, Paulie.
yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, so there's a technical error. I'm only using a MacBook Air, so I don't have that much memory, so it stopped recording because I ran out of room, and I still got to find my external hard drive. Or hit me up with that Venmo, JT of Jville. Be a supporter, get a free t-shirt, yada, yada, yada. So, we're talking about movements of squares.
yeah.
Okay.
Each square is like 5 feet.
Okay.
Usually.
Yeah.
But on each turn, so you were asking about combat.
Yeah.
So on each turn, each character gets an action,
Yeah.
a bonus action,
Okay.
and movement. So as an archer, we'll just say you're like a human archer.
Yeah.
You would have 30 feet of movement,
Yeah.
and an action is any assortment of things. So an action, it'll say on, if it's like a spell, it'll say whether it costs an action or like a bonus action.
Yeah.
If it's a weapon attack, like you'd be shooting your bow,
Mhm.
that would be an action. Sometimes when you use an action to attack, depending on each class, you might get to attack twice.
Okay.
Bonus actions are specifically labeled as bonus actions. So a spell that is a bonus action is labeled as a bonus action. An ability will say use a bonus action to yada yada yada. So you do any combination of those on your turn in any order on your turn.
Right.
So you can move, attack, move, bonus action, or bonus action, attack, move. You can, or just split it up in any way you want.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a bonus action, then you obviously don't use a bonus action.
Right.
But that's how each round of combat goes.
Okay.
And then each enemy has that as well, though.
Right.
So what you can do, enemies can do as well, depending on what kind of monster they are and what kind of abilities they have.
And now that we're on the subject, are there pets? Can you have pets?
Yeah, so you were talking about, like, an archer.
Mm-hmm.
There's a class called Ranger, and Rangers have a...
Aragon!
yeah. They have a subclass that you can, I think it's called Beastmaster, I think.
Okay, that's cool.
Where you can have a pet, and the pet actually gets its own initiative, I think.
And the pet can die and stuff.
But the pet can die and stuff, too. So if you use it for combat, it could potentially die.
You would be so terrible in combat.
She'd be disarming.
She's all bark and no bite.
Yeah.
You'd have to roll for a strong enough bark to scare the bad guys away. She has it. You look scary, but she's a softie. If you're a criminal and you're watching this program, she's not a softie, and she's killed multiple mailmen, but you're just a softie. And so you can have animals during battle too, and then the only other question I had in battle was like, you're focused on fighting primarily one enemies. Is there chances to be third-partied in the middle of a battle? So, meaning you're fighting troops from the north,
Mm-hmm.
so you're attacking from the south, but then their forces are trying to flank you from the east or west as well using an L-flank method.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
The possibilities with this game are endless.
Right.
You can play it any way you want. You can
Sneak past them.
You can sneak past them. You can fight through them.
That's my favorite thing. That's my favorite way to play Skyrim first time through.
It's just sneak past everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sucks though when you're in like the final fights though, and you can't sneak.
Yeah.
But you're still kind of sneaking.
Yeah.
So like
All you leveled up was sneak.
Yeah,
and
so
all your damage is
120
like
damage, and then you run away for 30
Yeah,
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Makes
But
it
yeah,
longer.
you can play the game any way you want.
Yeah.
any way you want, any combination. That's why it's such a good game.
Right.
It's because you can. So this is 5th edition that we play.
Right.
But there's obviously the versions prior.
You can probably go back too, right?
Well, you can go back, but you can also not move forward if you want to.
Just stay at 5 forever.
So yeah, I have a friend who played 3.5, and I've wanted him to play 5, and he's like, "Nah, I'm 3.5," and his friends are 3.5.
Right.
But they are continuing to play it because it's that endless of a game. The
I
only limitation is your imagination.
worked in the armory in the military, and there's one cat who would have his friend during the weekend shifts come in on his off time. Because the armory, you're just chilling with the guns, dude.
Yeah.
There's a locked door. There needs to be someone to unlock it from the inside, and that's you.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty basic. But on the weekends, it'd be super slow to where, like, you give out your guns, and then you're just like, okay, and then you count every single gun in the entire place. I've got 416 of them, whatever the number is, right? Once you're done, you're like, wow, that's it. That's all I got to do. And now all I got to do is make sure I'm inside of this box for the next 10 hours.
Yeah.
Whatever you got left. And so on the weekends, though, his friend would come in and just play Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
And they were like, and I was like, oh, wow, I got some old cards. And they were like, oh, but, like, what decks are they? And I was like, well, you know, I got an old sliver deck and this. Because, you know, there's one year I got separated on the other lunch, so I sat with the kids at the Magic at the Gathering table because they were nerds, but there were some of them that were huge, and I needed protection, you know. So I played some, so I brought them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's a 3rd generation." And then like basically the way those games make money is they'll make you buy all these crazy amount of cards, and then they build these huge decks that are only good for a time frame, and then finally once everyone maximizes on how much money they spend, they're like, those cards are illegal. Like they just wipe out. They'll be like the decks that didn't like really make it, that weren't like the strongest. Those ones carry over.
Yeah.
And then they just ban like 3 of them, and
But all the cool cards they get rid of.
basically, yeah, they just recycle. They'll just be like, can't use these. Yeah, this card was once $1,000. So yeah, if you want to play a 6, whatever tournament series that card's from, you still can.
Yeah.
But I knew a kid in Basic 2 who was the West Virginia Magic the Gathering state championship winner, and I even looked him up too because I was like, first thing I like wrote it down in like my little journal. Gotta look up if this kid is lying. Even though he was a cool guy, I was like, man, I gotta look it up. And I was like, well, what'd you do with that deck, And he's like, well, I knew I was coming in the military, so I just sold it for a quick $1,500. And I was like, bah. He's like, no, people will buy it because then they'll take that masterpiece, and then they have like such a better odds to win the prize money for like the next. I think there's like a half year or a year left in that season or something like that. But the way that he was describing it, I was like, oh man. And that makes sense. I was like, that's why they banned all these cards from like Yu-Gi-Oh! Original Generation, because they were like, dude, that's they got rid of all the get out of jail free cards,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like, I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't keep up with it, but it does different things now because it's got to stay at pace.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I like about playing online too is like, it's kind of, I mean, you're keeping track and doing kind of whatever, but are there programs to where like the computer will auto-generate like health and stuff like that during battles, during inputs, or is it kind of just like you guys keep track of that on pen and paper? Or how do you, like, if I hit an enemy with like 10 damage, how do I know which one has the 10 damage, and how do I know which one of the other enemies?
So
like how can I read health?
Okay, so it depends on the DM's play style. So DMs might just straight up tell you, oh, he's got 90 hit points left.
Okay.
Some DMs will try to hint at you and be like, this guy looks terrible.
Mm-hmm.
He's all bloody, like he's barely standing.
Looks like a pussy.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore, who's my bitch?
And so like that's your hint that this guy is low on health.
Okay.
Right? But I don't really, like, I guess I do try to more of the hint thing. But sometimes they'll hit, and when they go to roll damage, I'm like, he had 1 hit point, so you killed him,
You hit him with a 76. Yeah, he had 1 left. Good job.
And to know which one you're hitting, so we're online, and we're on Roll20, and so I create these little things called tokens, and I just find pictures online, and I put them in these little tokens, and you can move them around, and those represent the bad guys.
Right.
And that's who they know who they're hitting or whatever. But when you're in person, if you got like a really awesome setup, you can have miniatures,
Yeah.
and then they have that physical representation. They know who they're hitting.
So much money.
It is. It's okay. So this can either be an extremely expensive hobby, or this can be
In your imagination.
this can be a straight up cheap hobby.
Yeah.
Because the books are kind of expensive, but now that I own the books, I can create whatever I want and just run off of this, however long I want.
I would do it more online because, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm a total nerd, 100%. I watch way too much anime, but I'm saying, like, I just don't want to take the effort because when I like Magic, and we were kind of comparing Magic to Gwent because Gwent kind of
Gwent's
takes
a fun game.
Yeah, and it basically takes less knowledge of. There's a number system on how powerful your cards are in Gwent.
Yeah.
In Magic, it's like, oh, a Necromancer with a white border. Good thing it's the third Tuesday of my second turn because.
Yeah.
And you're just like, like, so when I play that in person, and like people read, like they'll just read your card, like, let me read it, and like I played in person as an adult, I thought it was hilarious, but on the computer it'll just be like, no, can't do it.
Right.
And you're like,
yeah,
I'll read it. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad that was there to be a definite ruling.
So there isn't that scripting
Okay.
online. So online, basically, all it gives you is a grid whiteboard.
Okay.
And then you do the rest.
Okay.
So I'm like adding in backgrounds and like houses and stuff. And the maps aren't amazing.
Right.
They're pretty crude. They're
Right.
pretty not good. But they work well enough to fill in the players' imaginations.
Yeah.
So, if the players are just looking at my map as the 100% representation of what's actually going on, they're not getting the full experience.
Okay.
Because the full experience is in their head, right? So, there's sometimes that I'll explain something and they'll go, wait a second, so I'm picturing it like this. And there'll be someone that'll go, well, I was picturing it like this.
Right.
And that's when you're like, oh, well, hold on. Let me re-explain this so we're all on the same page. Or there's sometimes, where I'll explain something and they'll all three think of something way cooler than how I was explaining it. And then it's like, well, that's what it is now. Like, that's way cooler.
Yeah, there's a gift shop that opened, like a game shop that opened up in the little military town I was staying in, and they would sell like some figurines and stuff like that, and like just looking at like how much some of the rare ones are too. Like you can just get this basic $3 golem, or you can get painted by this specific person, only 15 in rotation, gives you +5 armor because someone painted it red, and you're just like, yo, what is going on in this crazy game?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. If you have the money, it's cool. But, really, if you wanted to, you could use a notebook piece of paper.
Imagine
You could use nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could just describe it to each other.
Yeah.
And that would be fine.
I mean, I'm not trying to be offensive here, but I bet you that's how like blind people play.
Yeah.
There's
probably.
got to be. I just saw a blind barber on the internet cut somebody's hair.
That's amazing.
So there's gotta be a blind D&D player somewhere. I
guarantee it.
A 10-second Google.
Yeah. No, I guarantee it.
Write that down. You're a dick.
But I mean, it's as much money as you want to spend on the hobby.
Yeah.
Just get the books.
Yeah.
Everything else, you could just do O's and X's if you wanted to for miniatures on a notebook piece of paper.
And that's what I like about the old Magics that came out for $20 for at least good for 2 years because it's not in that high demand.
Right.
And they'll still upgrade it every once in a blue moon, but it's like doing the cards, like people spend hundreds of dollars. Like I had those two nerds. No, I had those two guys go through. They're like, let me look what cards you had because that's what some of them sound like. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I brought him in. He's like, oh, this one's $3 and this one's $1.50. And he had like a computer page. And he's like, dude, you have like this. And I was like, I'm not listing the sell. I'm not selling everything. Oh yeah, these 3 are going to Idaho and those 4 are going to Vermont. Like, I don't care. I got all these for free. I don't care. They're still sitting in a box. He's like, you have 3 of these cards, and they're each $350. That's pretty exciting for just this kind of a card. And I was like, no, I need to know how much I'll sell a $28 card.
Yeah.
I don't need it. That's why the Xbox, just give me the garbage and let me press A until I can't. Take all the rule knowing out of me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I understand, like, the basics. Flying, can't get attacked by ground creatures unless there's some stuff going on. But I don't need to read the cards like that.
Yeah. Well, and it slows down the action. It slows down the fun.
Oh, especially when, like, you're brand new to it.
Yeah.
Being brand new and in person, by the way, at something like that is, like, one of the most terrifying experiences of my life.
Only when you're not with someone that you're comfortable with.
Yeah,
So D&D has a lot of the same things when you're first starting off, and we actually do it quite a bit still.
Man, you guys should go to, like, a convention.
Is like just us getting to a point where a lot of times it's Elmer will say, I'm going to cast this spell, and I'm like, wait, what does that do?
Right.
You know? And he'll, like, read it, and then I'll have to be like, wait, no, I'll read it, you know, and then I'll, like, find it and read it, but it takes out of the action, so it's like, oh, boom, boom, all this cool stuff's going, and then I'm going to cast this cool spell, and I'm
Start button.
wait, we need to look into this, and it just totally takes away from the action.
Kind of like when
So I feel you.
the old computer ran
kinda
out of
like
memory.
the computer.
You jerk. Venmo me. Like, send me a MacBook Pro would be. It's the day after Christmas. I'm being greedy. You know?
Yeah, you'll start that resolution next year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For like 4 days.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I hate about New Year's Eve, it's not like, you know, all the drunks and, you know, whatever. Go party. Go have a good time.
Yeah.
Go celebrate. It's like when because right now I haven't been going to the gym because of my foot thing, but it's gotten way better.
Oh, you mean when you go back to the gym and it's just packed?
And it's January.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm going to have to go at like 2 a.m. when it's open at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And it just sucks because it's like, you know, like I said, it's on week 5 of 6. So I can go back in a week. But, next week's the new year.
Yeah.
20,000 new members. Why are you wearing pants? Why are you wearing blue jeans? Like, you don't got sweatpants at least? And you're wearing blue jeans? You mall
People
walker?
wear blue jeans to the gym.
Old people do all the time. I mean, like, you don't have to have, like, you can wear a regular t-shirt and, like, shoot, cargo pants are better. I've seen those too, but it's like, you don't want a pair of gym shorts?
Yeah.
Like, pants. Like, and one of the last workouts I did, I would run for 3 minutes on a treadmill at, like, a staggering pace.
Yeah.
Then I'd go do 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, and 20 squats. Then jump back on the treadmill for another 3 minutes, and I did it so I did 21, 18, 15. I'm not going to be able to do that in January.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna wait for the treadmill, and then hop on at 3 minutes. Yeah. Hop to the side because I go right to the side. I even lay out a pad. I get on that pad, and some old lady in blue jeans is gonna be up there walking away. I'm like, Bob, come on, my water bottle's there. Oh, I thought you were done, lady. I did 3 minutes. It's the worst.
I do not go to a gym. My job as a gym.
So that's why I finally bought my punching bag stand because
What weight is your punching bag?
it's a heavy. But I get on YouTube and there's this guy that has 3 30-minute high-intensity cardio boxing workouts.
Yeah.
Dude, I almost have fucking heart attacks, man. Like, I will just be like, because you can record it with this watch, you can just record boxing as your workout.
Yeah.
And, like, you're just boxing, and, dude, my heart rate is just like, bro!
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes he's just like, come on, like, you'll just be like, right, left, right. You'll just be like, boom, 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 or like 3, like, and then you'll be like, doing that, like, super intense, and be like, okay, just easy 3 jabs. And jabbing 3 times, like, isn't, like, you're just, like, measuring your space and that's for spacing. And I'm not an expert in boxing. He's just talking, and I've seen these videos hundreds of times. So, and I'm just doing it for cardio. I'm not doing it because I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to a boxing match. I'm like, I'm fat and I need to work out. And it's great for upper body, and, like, you feel like when you drive your feet right. And it's a lot of fun, but, like, when you're resting, because you're never resting, you're always doing a counter move or like side, like sometimes you're just stepping to the side, or you'll take a step back and squat and then take a step, and you're even though it's your break time, you're still moving. And during the break time, I'm like, and like it's like I'm gonna be like, oh, I ate too much before this workout.
Yeah.
And like I used to do that in my parents' basement, and then I'd get on the elliptical for like 35 minutes while I watched a TV show.
But now you're like thrown up.
Well, now I'm like, no, it's just like I need to get back in shape, so because I know if I do that right off the ripper, I'm gonna puke.
Yeah.
Because it's like coming off of football to basketball. No matter how in shape I was for football, I'd start basketball and throw up the first practice because like I'd either be too hungry and have a nervous stomach, and they'd be running us, and I'd like I'm not conditioned for inside yet. It's weird. The human body's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's the 26th of December. If you haven't heard for the 7-8 times, how was your Christmas?
It was good, man.
What'd you do?
Christmas Day we woke up late actually, like 10.
Holy moly!
Yeah, and then we kind of farted around, made some breakfast, and we didn't even open our gifts till like noon.
God, you and Lauren are such adults.
It was nice.
My mom's still like me, a little kid. Presents.
Yeah. Oh, I was excited for him, but I was definitely like, man.
Oh, 6 a.m. family here usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother had a boss move though. I told you about my creation of food.
Mm-hmm.
He just had a pizza, little DiGiorno's.
Nice.
Hilarious. He's like, bam, and I was like, it's pretty dope. Just a pizza.
He just at his house. That was all they ate.
It was him and they went over to some friends, him and his wife and his kid, who's like a baby. So
Yeah.
But they just did a pizza,
That's nice.
and I was like, man.
Well, my mom actually had her Christmas this past weekend, and we did pizza and wings
Yeah.
for like 13, 15 people.
And what's great too is like when you meet other people who do different things for Christmas, like so Earl's family does their whole Christmas on Christmas Eve. Like so Christmas Day he'd be like doing nothing while my family's get-togethers on Christmas.
Yeah.
So then like he's like, dude, let's hang out. And I'm like, I have my family
It's Christmas,
here.
man.
So
Yeah.
like my family would be 6 a.m. opening presents with my mom and dad. Then 5 p.m. people are suddenly running down after playing cards forever to leave.
Yeah.
And then Earl's like, come over right at 6, so I'm non-stop left to right. Going to the movies on Christmas, I'm exhausted.
Laura and I used to go to the movies every Christmas.
I was going to go to the movies yesterday.
Yeah.
Because Uncut Gems was apparently in theaters on Christmas, but none of these theaters.
What's Uncut Gems?
The Adam Sandler, like Oscar
the Oscar
nominee.
buzz one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, let's go see a
That's
movie.
gonna be unbelievable if he gets an Oscar. Adam Sandler.
I mean, like,
Oscar.
right? Like, I'm 1% European Jewish, all right? Ancestry. But to put it bluntly, I wanted to go see a movie about a gambling addicted Jewish man played by Adam Sandler, specifically on Christmas. Like, I thought that's like the 1-2 combo right there.
It's funny.
I want to see Adam Sandler kill it as himself if he was addicted to gambling.
Yeah.
He's basically the Adam Sandler version of Mark Wahlberg's The Gambler.
No. That was a terrible movie.
Really?
I didn't like it at all.
He was really skinny.
And that makes it good?
He really
Because
tried
he wasn't a meathead, it makes it better?
a little bit.
It's like when you watch those
My
rare Jason...
muscles do all the time.
It's like when you watch those rare Jason Statham movies where he's not a badass.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? I like this movie.
Oh yeah. Vin Diesel and the Fast and the Furious crew are moving to Netflix. And I'm like, yeah, because nobody wants to see another one of those.
Yeah, nobody's
in
going to pay to
theaters.
see it in theaters anymore. Netflix, they'll watch it until that whole cast dies. But in theaters,
He's gonna be in a
they've used their
80-year-old
12.
in a
Yeah.
old people home. Like, we gotta get the vanilla pudding, and they're gonna be on their little power scooters, and he's gonna be like, "Don't worry, I've really revved this up," and it's just a little hoverboard.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be popping.
Call me the
wheelies
Drift
on his-
King.
on his wheelchair.
What does DK stand for? Donkey Kong. Drift King. Oh man, dude, that's
Ooh.
too funny.
We should play some Mario Kart.
Definitely. So yeah, well, on that note, well, I had a great Christmas. I hope you all had a great Christmas. We're gonna call this episode. I'm gonna have to mash it together, put a little like, sorry, upcoming technical error, blah blah blah. So I'll do that. It'll probably be uploaded sometime tonight or tomorrow. But thanks for tuning in. We're gonna go play some Mario Kart. JT of Jville Venmo, JT of Jville.com, all that yaz.